Hello fellow agents. In the previous video I showed you how to create a basic structure for a command line application. I also showed you how to add dependencies to requirement.txt and how to install it from the command line, create a virtual environment, and also how to set up a setup file which allows you to install the application locally, where you can actually run the application and have it in a way where actually whatever changes you do to the application, it will be instantly visible in the output. And the way how Python is doing it, it is creating symlink, you see, and because of that all the changes will be visible immediately. So in this episode, I'm gonna show you how to add click to the project to manage the command line options, and also I will implement at least 2 features, generating a secure password and getting some information about the application what we are actually running. So let's dive into it. First, I'm just gonna rename this folder because it's supposed to contain commands, not just a single one. And let's start with the generate. If I go to the Click website, this is how you use the Click as an application. So let's put it in here, and I don't need a count. Actually, what I will use is a copy. It's gonna be a flag, and the help is going to be for this option is copying the new password to the clipboard. I don't need this option. I'm gonna call it CLI, and okay, so for the sake of simplicity, I just added this, and let me see how it works. And it actually works. Okay, so I'm gonna add the generate password function to the utils, because this is what I'm gonna use, and for this function I will need string and random. And how am I gonna use it? So string has some very nice features. For example, ASCII letters, it knows all the ASCII letters, all the lowercase, uppercase, and digits, and also punctuation. So if I combine those 3 together and ask the random to get me back a random, let's say 32 character long string, actually is gonna be good enough for me for this video. Random choices, and I'm adding string ASCII letters plus string digits and the string punctuations. Okay, and I also need 32 bytes long response. So let's import this here and see how it goes. Okay, and just print out a password. I'll run the command again. Syntax error, it is not closed. Yes, the interpreter is absolutely right. So every time I execute it, I have the password. So right now let's copy it to the clipboard. Okay, so like this, I'm just copying it to the clipboard. Let's test it out. And yes, I have a new password. Do it again. I do it again. Every time I'm getting a really nice 32 bytes long random password. So let's use this copy argument. So if copy, I'm just gonna copy it to the clipboard, else I'm just gonna print it out, and for this I'm gonna use the rich library, and I just print out the password like this. Okay, so do it again. There is no copy, it prints out the password. Use it with copy and paste it here, and we have a really nice random password generated by application. Alright, this is the first part of the application. Now let's jump into the second part and implement the CLI the CLI function, because what I want it to do for me, actually pick up all the commands from this directory, and whenever I call the CLI function here, it should do two things. First, it should be able to collect all the commands in this directory, or it should be able to execute any of the commands which I'm asking it to do. For this, let's go back to the Click website, and luckily for us, we have a multi-command. So this multi-command is the basic implementation of command that dispatches to subcommands. The most common version is the group. Okay. I think we will need two methods to be implemented. First one is the list commands. Yeah, list commands returns a list of subcommand names in the order of they should appear. And also the second one should be the get command. Given a context, the command name returns the command object if it exists, or returns none. Okay, so let's implement these. I don't need this. And import OS, because I will need to first let's add the command. The class is gonna be and I need to subclass this one. Right now I'm just gonna add an empty body and click command, and the CLS is gonna be this password manager CLI. So the CLI here is gonna contain nothing but a doc string, because actually I don't want it to do anything but returning the commands. Alright, so let's implement those two methods. First is list commands, and the second one is get command. Okay, so the list commands will take the self and the context and should return the list of strings. So I don't need this expression here. So the commands is gonna be an empty list by default, and I'm getting the commands folder. Is gonna be so I'm getting the directory name of this, and which is gonna be the agent FUD agent food password manager, and I'm gonna get these commands. Let's loop through those file names. Let's loop through these file names, and let's check. So if the file name starts with cmd and ends with .py, we're gonna assume this is a command. And ends with .py, I'm gonna append, but not the whole file name, but the file name. I'm gonna replace the cmd with nothing, and also replace the .py with nothing, and I'm gonna return this. Okay, so this is done. Let's do the second part. So for this, I'm gonna import. I will try to import those commands, and if it fails, if it doesn't fail, I'm gonna return mod CLI. So the mode is gonna be import commands cmd, and the name I'm gonna add it here. Yes, and it has 3 more parameters, and actually I will try to import the CLI function from it. Okay, so it seems to be okay. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so it picked up 0 commands. Why it picked up 0 commands? Because I have 1. Yes, no such commands for it. I think it is because I don't have anything for these commands. So let's fix it. Okay, because it has to be a CLI, and okay, so let's copy it. Alright, let's do it again. I think I got it what went wrong. So all the files start with cmd underscore. Let's do it again. So I have all the commands now. Okay, let's test out the generate. It generates me a password. Let's try to copy it to the clipboard. And sure enough, I have a new password generated. So it seems okay. So let's go to the second part, implementing the cmd info. So what the cmd info is going to do, it is quite simply, we'll try to return some up-to-date information about our current program. pkg resources to get some information about the package, and also I will use reach to print out to the console the outputs. I will import the console and also import the table. Okay, so let's add some doc string to it. And I'm just gonna get the version from the package, which is require and if I'm not mistaken, the first item is going to contain the version. Okay, let's print it out. It's not generate, it is info. Yes, I'm getting it right. Okay, so let's build the table. Show headers I don't need. I'm gonna use table add row. Add row, and it's gonna be very simple. And I'm gonna put out the version. And finally, I need a console. And I need to print to the console. Alright, let's check it out. Great. So I'm gonna add a couple of more rows just to make it a bit more interesting. And yes, it works as it expected. Okay. And that's it for today. So in this episode, I showed you how to use the multi-command, the click.MultiCommand, to be able to collect all the commands in the commands folder. And also I implemented two commands, the generate and the info. Alright guys, thank you very much for coming along. Let's see you in the next one.